Howdy and welcome to San Antonio Family Association's live coverage of the Industrial Compatibility Overlay District, ICOD 1, as the City of San Antonio Planning Department calls it, Development Service Department. And I'm Patrick Von Dolan, representing the San Antonio Family Association, live here at Texas A&M San Antonio, where we are looking at what the City of San Antonio is doing on development. Got lots of interest down here, property owners who are all concerned about their private property rights as the city prepares to present their version of solving this, which is an overlay to correct it. But what the overlay will do is protect their illegal agreement with Toyota called the Starbright Agreement back in 2002, where Manny Pelaez, none of the Manny Pelaez City Council District 8 mayoral candidate, was this attorney for Toyota, and recently came out with a statement saying that he knew this would come to an issue at some point in time, and that there's a lawsuit involving it because it's going to prevent the use of people's private property, and almost 4,000 property owners will be impacted. It'll basically condemn the land for development and any value if this overlay goes through. So we're excited to have. How you doing? Oh, thank you very much. So we'll get a picture of this here, and that was English, now Spanish. How you doing? Buddy. So we have property owners looking at their property, the maps blown up here by the city, and expressing their concerns. State Representative John Lujan, House District 118 is here. President, he lives in this area. Got Zoning Commissioner for City Council District 10, who's here as a private citizen, John Whitsitt, and local conservative activist and advocate, Weston Martinez. Weston, what brings you down today?
Real estate commissioner.
Former real estate commissioner. Forget about that. You're honorable.
I do a lot of land development, property rights stuff, and this is property rights theft. So,
well, good.
Down zoning. I have Brian Chasnoff. I told him, I said, Brian, I said, the headline should read, down zoning is theft.
Down zoning is theft?
Yeah. So I asked Brian, I said, who's doing behind it?
What did you say?
He can't comment right now. He's working for the city.
So, for the record, Brian Chasnoff used to work for who?
Yep.
San Antonio Express News, right? Yep. And now he works for the city of San Antonio. What's his position for the city of San Antonio now? Communications. So we got a former reporter, possibly you could argue a fake news reporter,
His buddy Bruce.
and now working for his buddy Bruce over for the city. The city's budget must be growing really big and important to have all this media and communications people and paying these big bucks for all these former reporters from local media. So how does that work?
The government's not cheap.
Not cheap. That's why our tax dollars, our taxes never go down.
Well, and so in this case, right, like part of what we've been talking about across the state of Texas and here in San Antonio specifically is that these local governments are out of control. They're trying to tax and spend their way into wokeness. And in that scenario, they're running out of options, they're running out of real estate.
Right, we're landlocked at this point. I mean, there's going to be an automatic annexation comes in 2027, I think, a 10-year plan. But other than that, we're landlocked.
So my question is, who are they downgrading it for?
Right. So your impression of this, I know you've gotten some information possibly from John Whitsitt and read some, and what's your estimation of the overall project? How would you summarize it?
Overall, it's going to be unconstitutional. We're going to have to act activate people in the state of Texas to fight for the property rights here in the state of Texas and in San Antonio. I mean, how can you have the home of the Alamo City where you fought and died for freedom, and yet we're not going to have freedom in our land, freedom in our property rights? I mean, life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. We're not celebrating July 4th to our founding fathers, and the pursuit of happiness is translated technically as owning land.
Right to property. That's right.
David Barton will tell you it's the right to own property. So here on the cusp of July 4th, they're absolutely going to steal property. And this
Not literally steal it, but they're going to condemn it where you can't. It's not worth anything.
Actually, only half the value. This one-on-one is going to speak during the public comments. They're just going to have a presentation. They're going to magically pull some questions out of a hat and say that those were the questions which were commonly asked. I did ask if I could information about those questions so we can confirm those commonly asked questions. I don't think they like that very much. But the citizens of San Antonio need to wake up and realize that you're being stolen. There are people that are in the city that do not care if you're stuck in the same traffic 20 years from now. They do not care if you're taxed out of your home. They do not care if your water is more expensive than gas. And they do not care if you own your own home in 10 years because they want you to live in their own public housing that they're
riding their own public transportation.
Riding their own public transportation. So I know this is about to get started, and I'm thankful to San Antonio Family Association and Patrick and the team for being out here today covering this.
Well, how important it is for help identify and educate families about what's going on here. This is Family City, USA, and the South Side. Who more than anybody who would represent families, the tried and true, the backbone of our society, and yet they're being overlooked and might be have their property condemned.
Well, and what's worse, they're making Toyota the bad guy.
Yeah.
They have created, Toyota. I made a comment earlier. People around here, they're just going to get Tundras. So now, don't Tundra San Antonio property rights. Don't run us over.
Yeah.
And when you look at what's happening, the mayor and the city council, this next election for those people, we're going to have to work really hard to look at who's running in those seats and the people that have announced. Some of them are talking really differently because they want to try to get the business community that they're our friends. David Alliance printed to him. He said this was about property rights. He actually was involved in writing the Toyota agreement. So,
but yet has not come out and made anything public about a statement that the city ought to back off. City council should vote this down, and Toyota should consider relinquishing their 3-mile radius on this and let the property owners build because they have natural barriers.
Right. And again, it comes back to the battle of the Alamo is heard around the world. So to have this go on in modern day San Antonio without a shot almost, we just have a version of Santa Ana in San Antonio.
And what about the irony of this whole was brought to light because of a lawsuit of the city trying to prevent an affordable housing project since 2017 when the bond projects were approved and affordable housing was put into the city charter. We've been 100% going 100 miles per hour developing affordable housing all over the city, and now they're gonna prevent one from going.
Well, it just shows that probably the right what it really shows is that the deal didn't have the correct former elected official leadership as part of that business model. It's probably what's really
or campaign contributions or something else that are greasing.
I don't think Henry Cisneros or Julian Castro or Ivy Taylor, who all work together,
are involved in the project.
In that project, ironically.
Well, thank you for your time, Weston, and appreciate your insight. Walk over here and see if we can get Senator John Lujan's comments before we, State Rep John Lujan's comments before we start. Hey, John, can I get a few comments from you for our viewers, just before it starts real quick? I'll come back here. Thank you very much. So we got State Rep John Lujan here from House District 118. This is the heart of his district, and he actually lives in this area, so he's personally impacted as well. So, John, what brings you down here, and why? What's the controversy about?
All right, I think
real quick.
I know this is a city county issue, but it was real nice to come down here, and I have a lot of friends that are down here that are really concerned about what's going on. My thing on this is
Okay,
I want to take
just a moment. And then,
see, and I'm going to be meeting with the folks. I've already
announcement
sent a
that needs
letter
to be
out to
made
the mayor,
before
and I
we
sent a
start
letter
this.
out to the city council folks. I've
Hola,
already got
buenas tardes a
feedback,
todos.
and
Si
we're going to get
alguien
together and
necesita
find
o
out
requiere
what is the
interpretación
purpose
en
of this. Why
español,
can't we just
si
keep
por
it
favor
business as
pueden
usual
citarnos aquí
and just
con
take
la
it a case by case
señorita que
basis
está
and people
con la
property when I
camisa
do things
o
with the
blusa
property, the way it's
morada.
normally done.
Otra
And
vez, si alguien
so,
necesita
Where everybody can come out here looking good, and nobody with one particular entity having a black eye.
aquí al final de la sala
looking
con
into
una
that,
blusa
it
morada.
makes sense to me,
También voy a estar yo
but that's what I'm here for.
Not everything in City of San Antonio always has common sense to it. So, thanks, John. Appreciate you being down here.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Adios.
All right, I think that folks are wrapped up. And